A quick 5 tips, 5 things that I wish I knew prior to starting nursing school, prior to even choosing nursing as a career. Hey guys, it's your girl D'Amber and I'm back with another video. So this one is just a quick 5 tips, 5 things that I wish I knew prior to starting nursing school, prior to even choosing nursing as a career. So let's get right into it. The first thing is that I wish that I kind of knew that nursing school wasn't just about being smart. It was about time management. It was about discipline. It was about resilience. When you go through the nursing program, a lot of things happen. Regardless of if you're losing relationships with people, there could be family issues, real life happens, you know, you're still going through life. Just because you start nursing school doesn't mean that it stops. So at the end of the day, these programs are very tedious. They're very picky. They don't care, and they just want to see that you are going to do whatever you have to do to get through this program. And that's pretty much how they operate. Most programs operate that way. I don't really know too many programs that are very lenient. And, you know, it's for a reason. It's for a cause, because when you get out there in the real world, you have to know this stuff. You have to know how to take care of these people. So you're gonna have those struggles. It's okay. We all did. We all cried. We all thought it was going to be the end. But at the end of the day, you literally just have to keep going. Once you start, do not stop. Don't get discouraged. It gets hard, but I promise you will literally get through it. Number 2 is that time management will literally make or break you. When you're in nursing school, you have to juggle your real life. You have to juggle friendships, you have to juggle schoolwork, and then you have to juggle clinical. And if you have kids, you have to put your kids, like, you have to juggle their schedule too, which is already a lot. So with that being said, time management is very important. Time management is also important when you become a nurse as well. So learning that in nursing school will literally help you when you transition into the real world. You got to learn those exams. You got to study for those exams. You got to study for those skills labs. You have to, you know, watch your lectures, study your books, all of that. All of those things. And then you have to honestly figure out what works for you. Like, do you want to study in a big group or do you want to study by yourself? And once you figure out all that, and once you figure out your time management, and also figure out how to take care of yourself at the same time while going through nursing school, everything will literally be okay. But don't be afraid of the struggle. Don't be afraid of the what ifs or whatever, because it can be very, like I said, tedious. I personally failed a nursing course by 1 question, and I was so upset. I was so distraught. But you know what? I came back and I bounced back, and I just breezed through the program after that. So I kind of needed that setback, because it like really made me focus and lock in, and I got super serious about it after that. So time management is super important. It's something that you learn throughout the, you know, throughout the course, as you figure out yourself and what you need to do and what you can do. The next thing is you'll have clinicals, which is the fun part. You'll also have your classroom work. You'll kind of realize when you get to clinicals that you may feel lost, and that is totally fine. Just ask somebody questions. Ask the instructor, ask nurses, ask, you know, the CNAs, because they're all pretty knowledgeable, because they're in the field. So if you have not been a CNA before, do not go to clinicals and have yourself like, oh, I'm not here just to do bed baths and CNA work. No, that doesn't right. Because when you become a nurse, you have to know how to do those things, because if your CNAs are busy, they can't get to it. The next person is you. Also, if your CNAs see that you are willing to get in the trenches with them, you are willing to help them, you are willing to not just ask them to do everything while you're just chilling, they are more than likely going to help you out. And they literally will make your shift either easier or harder. Because you got to think about it. They come in, they get the blood sugars, they're getting vitals, they're getting these patients up, they're getting these patients ready for bed, whatever shift you work, they're doing the basic task. If you know, get into it with a CNA and they decide that they're not going to do for your patients, now you kind of have to do it, and it makes your job a little bit harder. So learning those basic CNA skills to make your job and their job easier will literally save you a whole lot of time. And it just, you know, it just makes you an overall good nurse too. Like, they love nurses who've been CNAs or know how to do CNA work or not afraid to do CNA work. But yeah, make sure you ask those questions, make sure you learn how to do that CNA work, and then just embrace the clinical, you know. Try to put what you're learning in school to use at clinical as well. You know, if you see a heparin drip, if you see a wound change, if you see, you know, BP medications being given, you know, opioids being given, narcotics, whatever, you know, try to use that knowledge that you're learning, because it will come back around in nursing. Not all of it, but a majority of it will definitely come back around, and you will have to remember, you know, start to look, you know, catch your good catches or your near misses is what we call them. Like, hey, this patient shouldn't be getting this blood pressure medication because their such and such is so low. So, like, you know, try to start learning those things and doing those things while you're in clinical, because it'll make it for an easier transition when you get to the real world. Tip number 4 is that your support system does matter. So you're going to have you a support system within your nursing program, and that is more so like your friends. Some people get support from the academic advisor and their professors, and then you'll have the ones that are outside of your nursing program, such as your family and then those friends or whatever. Some people truly won't understand what you're going through. I truly felt like none of my family understood me, and the only people that truly understood what I was going through were people who are in the healthcare field already, or my nursing school friends. So those are pretty much the ones that I cried to every time something happened, because they truly understood, and your family won't. And sometimes, you know, that gets frustrating because you're like, nobody gets me, but they didn't go through it and they don't understand how hard it is. But it is probably one of the most hardest, humbling things that you will ever do. So just find you a great support system and stick with it and write it out, and just do like I did. I apologized a million times. Like, I'm sorry for crying today, but I gotta let this out because this program is whooping my, because that's what it did for me for 16 months. Next thing is, you don't have to know your forever. You do not have to know your forever. I started out med-surg, and then I went pediatrics, which was pediatric med-surg. Still love it. And then I started traveling. And I actually love everything that I've done so far up. And then in the beginning of the year, I am going to the PACU. I feel like that I've mastered a good part of med-surg. I've been doing it for 3 years. I kind of see the same things. With traveling, it has opened up. I have learned a little bit more than what I was seeing where I was at, because now I'm at a oncology tower, so I see my cancer patients that have medical issues on top of their cancer. So that kind of helps me do a lot of, and I get a lot of skills behind that too, but I am ready for something different, so I decided to try the PACU out. But you don't have to know your forever, and don't let people discourage you saying that, oh, these jobs don't hire new grads. They do. When I was coming out of nursing school, I have friends that were going to the NICU, the PICU, telemetry, the OR. I have friends that were going to PACU. So they do. Emergency department, I think I said ED, but emergency department already, yeah. They hire you because they know that they're going to need you at some point, and you have to gain that experience. So don't let people discourage you. And there's nothing wrong with med-surg. And use your clinical time as well to decide where you want to start at. Like, you know, me personally, I didn't think that I would like labor and delivery, and I went to clinical and I literally hated every second of labor and delivery, and I was like, I know that I would not be here. But I did enjoy my wound clinical and my infusion clinical, and I thought that was different because I never wanted to be a wound nurse, and I was like, okay, this is actually fun to do and it's nice to look at, and they had so many cool things. So also use your clinical time to determine if you will like some of these units. You know, ask those nurses questions like, what's the ratio, what kind of patients do you guys see? What kind of patients don't you guys see? You know, things like that. What type of resources do you have to help throughout your shift to make your shift go by easier? So yeah, those are my 5 tips. Just remember that nursing school is hard. It's not meant to be easy. If it was meant to be easy, everybody would do it, but everybody can't do it. So you got this. You will succeed. You will be totally fine. So keep going through your journey. Yeah, and just keep doing whatever you're doing, and you will be a-okay. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this video, and we will be back next week with another one. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.